I play Julian Goldstein, and he's a doctor from Mexico that's doing some sort of post-residence here, maybe having a professional life here.
He's who diagnoses me with my illness and cancer, and he then sort of goes through some of the process with me until he tells me that it's sort of out of his control, that he needs to sort of send it off into people bigger hands, basically.
He is my protege, so I oversee what he does, and he is the doctor that Kate Hudson's character comes to, and so I oversee her treatment.
He's the one that treats the character of Marley that Kate Hudson plays, and my character is the one that sort of attends to her her illness.
He's a closed-off person at the open of the story, but how to show that while still making him appealing.
I think part of it is that my character has never been able to be so vulnerable, and here's this man who's not only incredibly handsome, but is so stuck in his way. He's so straight, so against every type I've ever known, and yet he's so available for her to be vulnerable, and she has to, she has to sort of literally get naked in front of this man.
The character of Julian is so good for Marley because he just sets her slightly off balance, and it just keeps disrupting this sort of perfect sense of control I think she feels that she has over her life and her destiny, even though things are unraveling.
So she sort of wanders into the nightclub or the jazz club, and Julian's there, the doctor's there, and he sort of comes over. I had told him about this place, and he sort of comes over, and we sort of start our first talking, getting to know each other outside of the hospital. Or the horrible fluorescent lights, as I say. And it's really a sweet scene, because you sort of get to see him comfortable in himself for the first time, that it's, who he is as Julian, not Dr. Goldstein.
Right. He's the opposite of everything she was looking for before. He's a good person. He's very kind. He's they're also he's not very funny, or she sort of has to teach him to be funny, and I think she's charmed by that, how kind of quite straight and serious he is.
He has this really offbeat sense of humor that initially she doesn't find funny at all, and I think he just undoes her in a way, and he keeps unhinging her more, and then she can finally open up.
Very strange, but he just gets pulled by this affection, and he needs it also.
We have this sort of funny flirtation, and I am, as my character is in this, very quite flirtatious, and we kind of have this thing, and we strangely start to fall in love with each other throughout the process.
They fall in love in a way whilst there being no future. So it's a very, perhaps a very pure love in that sense.
I'm scared this entire night's gonna go by. You're never gonna kiss me.
The minute we saw them together, it was just electric.
We just wanted a great actor for that role.
He brings so much charm to it. He's such a wonderful actor. He's mysterious and so accessible at the same time. It's just kind of an honor to work with him.
And he's got this amazing joy for life, and these eyes that are so intense, right? And he has these incredible, eyes that you just sort of, you look at them and you're like, what is going on? And then they just soften, and the little tips of his eyes soften, and he starts to smile, and you're like, oh boy, oh please. You know, and you know that he knows that when those little tips of those eyes soften, the girls just, you know, swoon.
Well, he's a most delightful young man, and obviously very pretty. Not that it works for me, but I'm sure it does for all the young ladies, and I'm sure he's going to be a superstar.
And I had to really trust Gael that he was gauging it, and you know, because we shot so out of order, it was really fun to see him more relaxed and then go back to earlier mode. And but that probably was the hardest role to just, it was such a delicate line to tread.
Oh, well, I mean, he's just like a gift from heaven, right? When he wanted to do this, we pushed the production 3 months so that it would fit his schedule, and everybody said this is worth doing.
Kate brings out the humanity and the humor in him, and you needed a great actor to do that, and we found one.